Hello everyone, this is Alex the Blue Man, and welcome back to my MCU-a-thon. Today I'm going to be talking about the 8th film in the franchise, Thor: The Dark World. I'll just get this out of the way first. Pretty much everyone says this is one of the weakest, if not the weakest film in the MCU. Probably weaker than its predecessor and Iron Man 2. Personally, they weren't that bad, but they were indeed weaker compared to the rest of the movies, with the exception of Iron Man 3, in my opinion. So after watching it, can lightning strike greater than last time? Let's figure it out. As with the previous 7 videos, this will contain some spoilers, so don't watch this video if you haven't seen the movie yet. With all that said, in the movie we learn some stuff about the Dark Elves, their leader returns some millenniums of hibernation. Now Thor has to stop him from using the ether from covering the 9 realms in permanent darkness. Wow, I just realized that sounded a bit like Kingdom Hearts. But anyways, not much of a storyline, as it's more like a series of events towards hero versus villain. I will give this movie a plus on telling us a brief history in the opening narration segment. My goodness, why did I just pause there? Of who Malekith and the Dark Elves are. But to be honest, they don't pose as much a threat as the Chitauri from the Avengers were, or even General Zod and his gang of Kryptonian criminals from Man of Steel were. If there were like thousands of them, they'd be more menacing. In numbers, I mean. The ether itself blew my mind for one reason. Because one of the characters heavily implied that it is one of the Infinity Stones. If the Tesseract is the first, then the ether is the second. I originally thought it was just some random magical element. But one negative I will say is the human side of the story. I felt they were just there and unnecessary, save for a few moments, but they were just there to show what's happening to the planet while en route to the so-called convergence of the 9 realms. That does not mean that the movie is horrid. There are other good moments, and a couple of things that have expanded, like Asgard. We see more of the outskirts and its people, because in the previous movie we just see the bridge and the main kingdom, and we see at least 2 more realms or worlds other than just Asgard, Earth, and Jotunheim. The Dark Elves' attack on Asgard was a more engaging moment, or sequence, and it kept me on the edge of my seat. Moving on to the characters themselves, let's take a look at Thor himself. He's basically just the same as last time, not much to say other than him being more heroic, defending the realms for the sake of defending them than just looking for a fight. Loki has more development here, transitioning from the villain of the 2 of the previous movies to anti-hero in here. There are even some moments where I felt sorry for the guy. And I am really understanding what makes Loki one of the most memorable villains in the franchise. There's the Warriors 3, well, mainly Fandral, because that's mostly what I remember from that group in the movie. I will say they have at least a little more to do here than in the previous movie. 2 more characters, Heimdall and Odin. They're just there, standing around, so nothing much to say about them. For the human characters, besides Jane and Selvig, Intern Girl, her name escaped me once again, and she's pointless. And not only that, she now has her own intern. Well, isn't that perfect? And by my tone, it's not, as it makes her look even more pointless other than just comedic effect. And now for the villain, Malekith the Accursed. For the beginning, he looked epic enough to be a threat, but after that, he doesn't pose as much of one as I thought. Even his main henchman, Dark Elf thing, is more of a threat than he is. So, interesting threat, but poor execution. The movie doesn't even take its time to focus on him, because in almost every scene he's in, it's just 1 second to 1 minute of him, and then that's it. For what it is, it's pretty enjoyable enough. It's not on the levels of the other movies, but still. Despite the underuse of the villain and the uselessness of some human characters and some filler on Earth, there are some good moments too, like the introduction of the ether, Loki's development, and the expansion of some of the settings. This movie is just decent at best. Not great, not terrible, but just decent. So I'm going to give Thor the Dark World a 7 out of 10. I will give it this. It's better than Iron Man 3 in my opinion. So that's 8 movies down and only several more to go. Still, I really feel like I'm making some good progress here. So join me next time for my review for Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And I can't wait to share my thoughts on that film. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. Don't forget to like this video, comment down your thoughts on this movie, and as usual, I hope you all have a great, blurific day.